Welcome to all the aspirants of UPSC Civil Services Examination. This is Sameeksha, content extraction for mains from the Hindu. Many of you will be struggling what to read in the Hindu, what should be extracted for prelims and for mains from the Hindu. So this is exclusively for mains, what you have to extract from today's newspaper. This is a regular newspaper discussion named as Sameeksha. Right. So this is 29th of this month, September. This is Dhanunjay Reddy. Please welcome to our lecture. First thing first, this is again Visakhapatnam edition of the Hindu, dated 29th of September. Having said this, let's quickly deal with the aspects that we are going to discuss today. So 36th National Games are being held in Gujarat 2022. 2022 games of the 36th National Games are celebrated in Gujarat. Just remember that, right? Gujarat is hosting this summit. The mascot of this is the Gir Lions. The mascot is the lions. Asiatic lions are Gir Lions, right? This is the thing. Moving further, in the front page, it carries the news of the recent ban that was kept by Ministry of Home Affairs and PFI, and along with this, 8 front bodies were also kept under ban by under UAPA by Ministry of Home Affairs. Now, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, as these people are doing unlawful activities, the Ministry of Home Affairs have suspended them for operation for next 5 years. This is in news. However, this has been reacted by differently by various group leaders, saying that it is not necessary to ban the entire organization because of some people. Nonetheless, what the government of India has taken is a good step, given the direction of national security being the prime role of the country. Right. So just remember that. Moving on, temple and Buddhist cave revealed in Madhya Pradesh Tiger Reserve. Now there is one tiger reserve called Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve in Madhya Pradesh, and in this tiger reserve, Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, temples and Buddhist caves were revealed. Not much relevance, but just remember for prelims, Bandhavgarh National Park or Tiger Reserve is present in Madhya Pradesh. This is followed by the regional news of Andhra Pradesh. Not much relevance. However, in Andhra Pradesh, there is one national summit which is going on. That is the National Summit on Electrochemical Energy Conservation. So, Satish Reddy, the scientific advisor to the Defense Ministry, has come and he has given a statement saying that EVs or electric vehicles will play a major role in driving the nation's economy in the coming days. This is what Mr. Satish Reddy is saying. Just remember this as an outline of whenever you are writing something about renewable energy sources, write about electric vehicles as a very huge potential in India, and it is going to play a very crucial role in driving the nation's economy in the coming days. And what are the developments in electrical vehicles? Battery technology has changed drastically in the recent few years. Battery technology, where the sizes has become smaller and smaller, their capacity has increased, and their duration of operation is going up. So this is some change in battery vehicles. So something that you can remember. Just one liner is important. No need to go for the rest of the things. Karnataka government school students get a pad for rearing caterpillars. This can be used as something in ethics or essay writing, where you can use the empathy shown by the small kids. 22 students of government high school in Karnataka engaged in unusual activity this year of rearing caterpillars. This is showing sympathy and compassion towards other creatures. So just remember this, empathy showed by these people in rearing caterpillars, nothing more than that. In the editorial, globe changing reverberations of the Ukraine war. Now this is speaking about how the globe is aligned because of Ukraine war and what is there for the countries in this. Now this author speaks about this thing, saying that the Russia-Ukraine war has created much turbulence in the globe. Particularly, he has given a context about pre-Ukraine-Russia war scenario. Before going to the war, Putin and Biden met in Geneva in 2021, and then there was high interactions between NATO forces and Russia. But as this deals were not successful, they went to invade uh, Ukraine. So invasion over negotiation was chosen by Putin. Putin chose invasion over negotiation. However, the situation is very, very drastic because the West, particularly led by or led by USA, is playing a hypocritical role here. What is that hypocritical sanctions? Though the world is facing huge crisis in the world today, such as Yemen, Afghanistan are also war devastated, but the World Bank was very slow in helping these war-torn nations like Yemen and Afghanistan. So failure of World Bank in this, but however, when it came to Ukraine, it has rushed in to pump $4.5 billion immediately once the war has started, and the same was reciprocated by International Monetary Fund with a help of $1.4 billion. Now, this can be a clear example of how the global institutions or Bretton Woods institutions led by USA is showing favoritism to the Western countries, particularly those countries who are the allies of NATO. When it comes to the so-called global South countries, it is showing somewhat a negative role. So this shows a clear skepticalism or clear biasedness of these institutions, and these institutions, global South institutions, are asking for a new multilateral vision which will be focusing on them. So this is biasedness of World Bank and IMF per se. So you can consider this as example of that. At the same time, United Nations is also pursuing, many countries are asking many countries to go for not to import oil from Iran, Venezuela, Russia, and the other side. This is contracting the opinions of global South countries, particularly countries like India, which are oil dependent. Now, on one side, you are asking not to import oil from Iran, Venezuela. At the same time, you are keeping restrictions on imposing of oil from Russia, whereas your Western allies, such as the European Union, themselves are importing gas reserves from Russia at a very greater extent. Again, this is one hypothetical situation or hypocritical situation that the West is being played here. Because of the war, as we know, migration is happening, interdisplacement is happening, and cross-border migration is also happening. So this is the thing what the author says. Now, Russia has, in the year 2020, also announced three times that it is going to use nuclear weapons, four instances. So one thing is, if the country is getting an incoming missile, they said that we are going to use nuclear weapons. If it is subjected to weapons of mass destruction, if it is suffering from infrastructure that holds nuclear arsenal, or conventional war threaten the existence of Russia. In these four circumstances, Putin has said that we are going to use nuclear weapons. In 2020, he reiterated. What are the four? Just like India's nuclear use policy, no first use policy, this person also said that under four circumstances we are going to use. That is, if an incoming nuclear missile is targeting Russia, or it is attacked by weapons of mass destruction, or infrastructure that is holding nuclear arsenal is being destroyed, or the conventional war is threatening Russia's position. So totally, Russia has almost 6,000 nuclear warheads, but once we start nuclear war, it is not going to be an end for any country, right? So Russia is adamant that all the Western sanctions has to be lifted up, but the West is again not ready for this. USA is ready to support Ukraine until the last land of Ukraine is remained. As a result, this war is going to continue. Now, what are the consequences of Russia-Ukraine war on the multilateral platforms of the global level institutions? The first consequence is because of this armed conflict in Europe is the countries would remain hostile. All the countries would remain hostile, and resistance instigated by the West will continue, which means Ukraine is going to drag the war in the coming years. There will be no end. We are going to see something lethal that might happen in the coming days. So, this is the first thing. So, the countries are going to remain hostile, and security will remain elusive for all the countries, not only for Russia. Apart from that, the world today is shaped by raw power of politics, where everything is weaponized. So major powers are divided, international community is polarized, and protectionism is rampant. So again, these are the outcomes of the war. Powers are divided, international community is polarized, and protectionism is rampant. Now, the weapons of future are not nuclear weapons, but as USA has projected, or the West has projected, sanctions are the weapons of the future. For example, sanctions on a massive scale covering energy, covering sanctions, finance, banking, cyberspace, digital technology, and social media. These sanctions are going to play a very crucial role in the future. These are the future weapons, because if you are crippling a country through economic sanctions, the country is going to be lost. So this is something which is predicament in this war. So collaterally, it will have alternative financial and monetary platforms, because World Bank has created, or IMF has shown its biasness. So alternative mechanisms are coming out, or platforms are coming out. At the same time, because of these sanctions, countries who were under these sanctions, like Venezuela, Iran, Russia, China, there is every possibility of these countries coming together and coalescing into a new alternative financial and monetary platforms, which will be challenging the erstwhile Bretton Woods institutions of World Bank and IMF. This is something which is going to be an outcome of this war, and in future these countries are going to challenge dollar as a reserve currency. Maybe we also might see a new currency emancipating in the world. So increase in protectionism and retreat from globalization, that is protectionism, is going to be seen in the world today. So this is the impact, or the globe is going to have these reverberations from Ukraine war. So what in context it is saying is, so at the time negotiations has failed initially, Russia decided to invade rather than going for negotiations. Because of this, what is the impact? The first impact is, at the global level, protectionism is increasing. The second impact is, the countries are going to form new monetary and financial institutions alternative to the World Bank and IMF. New trade pacts are going to come, which will be aligned by the like-minded people, that is, whoever have faced sanctions, they will be coming together, and they will be molding a new financial system. At the same time, today, the new weapons of war is not nuclear powers, but sanctions are playing a crucial role. At the same time, countries will be very wary about their situations in the coming days. These things are being enlightened or enlarged because of the food crisis, because of the oil crisis which the world is seeing. So this is, in short, those who want to read, you can read it, but not much relevance except these things. Separately together, this is about the political friends, the opposition coming together and challenging Modi government. In 2024, as 19 months are away from the elections, how the coalitions of opposition are coming and forming a group in order to defeat this. But again, this speaks about that the coalition themselves is not agreeing on one platform. For example, either you take Mamata Banerjee, you take KCR, you take Nitish Kumar or Lalu Prasad Yadav, they are not agreeing on one stand. Even if they agree on one stand, Indian National Congress has its own set of requirements. As a result, these countries are, as a result, these parties might not be keeping a united front against the BJP in the coming elections. They have a long way to go to put a formidable fight against BJP. That is what they are saying. Not much relevance. Leave it. Talent recognition. Now, this article is about the recent uh, withdrawal of many awards by the scientific community. Recently, the Ministry of Home Affairs has asked the various departments, and they said that much of the awards has to be done away with, because they were given away at a very paltry levels. So they thought that we have to remove much of the awards. Awards has to be given only to that people who had shown some excellence, far beyond excellence. So that is what they said this. So why this is in line with Prime Minister Narendra Modi regarding transformation of the award ecosystem. Way back in 2018, Narendra Modi said that transformation of award ecosystem is important, because he said that Padma Awards earlier was given only to those recognized persons, but we have to give it to ordinary people who are doing selfless work rather than well-known personalities. And from then onwards, a shift in the awards has been happening in India. This was also related to the scientific community. They said that the number of awards that are given to scientific community should be reduced. However, unlike the civilian awards, unlike the gallantry awards, scientific awards has something which has a difference. Now, what it is saying is, many young people who enter into science and medical research, they, once they get these awards, they will set loftier and imaginative goals at the initial stages of their life. Because much of the scholars who got the so-called Nobel prizes, they were second runners in the Nobel prizes. They got them at a very They got many awards in their initial years that has compelled them to do their research and then receive this prize called the Nobel Prize. Similarly, in science and technology, it is never easy to say that which breakthrough, which breakthrough research has helped or is going to help the country in the future or the world in the future. It takes time. So, quantifying that breakthrough is very, very difficult. Hence, what this is, removing these type of awards is going to take away the incentives for the new people or new researchers. This is going to take away the initiation to work. As a result, they might have a negative impact. So actually, the budding talents will actually miss more promising talents. That is what they are saying if you remove the prizes. So if you are thinking that you are going to reduce caste by this exercise, then that is not a worth thing to decide on. That is what the author is saying. So in short, awards can be minimized, but at the same time in research it is very crucial to support the candidates who are doing research in a systematic manner. That is what it is saying. Now, in Nature's Warning, a sign, a nudge to riparian state, this is speaking about the increasing nature's worry, that is about floods. Recently, we have seen floods in Pakistan, we have seen floods in Assam, we have seen floods in Italy. So, floods are a recurrent theme these days. However, it is very clear that when the rivers are flowing from one country to other country, the upper riparian states have to ensure that they are following the global norms so that they will not cause artificial floods in the lower riparian countries. Right? This is what the message of this thing is. So one thing is the upper riparian states has a global initiation, that is you should be very transparent in sharing hydrological data from your country to other countries. Sharing of hydrological information relating to activities that are transborder in their effect should be done by the countries. And for example, if you take at India, China, India, Nepal, India and Nepal are always in news because many rivers transmigrate from Nepal to India. Rivers such as Koshi, Gangtok, their basins are shared by Nepal. Heavy seasonal precipitation as well as glacial retreat due to global warming and induced stresses such as construction of many dams across these rivers is changing the basin. As a result, it is very important for these nations to enter into some treaties such as India Nepal Koshi Agreement 1954, revised in 1966, where they will be sharing this France national hydrological information. This is going to help the countries. So, in short, it is saying that as the nature is saying, there is global commons. Nature is changing, climate change is there. Floods are recurrent theme. As a result, we have to accept to the global norms in sharing the information. And this article speaks about many United Nations conventions clauses. No need to remember into that depth. This is not going to be that useful unless you are interested to read something, or if your option is geography, you can focus on that aspect. But nonetheless, this is not going to be a much relevant theme for discussion, so you can easily neglect it. Just remember one thing: there should be transparency in sharing hydrological information uh, whenever it comes to river sharing information. Right? That is what the message is. Rediscovering the Bay of Bengal. This author says that the Bay of Bengal's geo-economical, geopolitical, and geo-cultural scenarios are changing because of the so-called the Western countries coming on par with Indo-Pacific. They are entering into Indo-Bengal region, that is called the Bay of Bengal region, and this is speaking about that. So at the same time, they are bringing new environmental problems also in the Bay of Bengal region. So this is something again which is not much relevant for general studies. PSIR students, if you are interested, just go through this Bay of Bengal along with this initiative that is called How the World is Changing After Ukraine Russia War. Only two things are important for PSIR but not for GS general studies students. Automation has impacted lower level jobs in banking sector. Now this can be written as one liner. You can just remember that with the introduction of information and technology, with the information of automations, right, in the world, many jobs are lost at the lower level. For example, the usage of ATMs, usage of mobile phones. online transactions are fewer and few number of banks, new banks has reduced the recruitments in the banks. As a result, it has led to loss of lower level jobs in banks. So how automation is destroying the employment opportunities? Just remember one line. You can write this as an example. Use of ATM machines, mobile phones, online transactions has led to recruit less number of recruitments in banks. So this is one line up. Just remember that. The new Chief of Defence Staff is Anil Chauhan. Just remember this, and he has a major task ahead because General Rawat, Bipin Rawat was pushing for reorganization of the armed forces into integrated theatre command structure to bring synergy and efficiency of operations. So they were tasking, or they were entitled, or they were thinking about transforming the armed forces of India into single theatre command structure, integrated theatre command structure. So now this role is to be led by Anil Chauhan, uh, which is very difficult task because there were some discrepancies between the armed forces to come out with this. So something huge challenge is there for the new CDS. Uttar Pradesh issues timetable for madrasas. This can be used as in society. You can use this as now where you can use this can be used in internal security front. Not much for prelims, but this can be useful again in society. Secularism of India. In India, you have positive secularism where state can intervene into religious affairs, and this is best example. Uttar Pradesh government issues timetable for madrasas, and they ask them to sing national anthem at the day has to start with national anthem. That is something. So you can just remember this as an example for internal Indian security, Indian secularism. Venkata Ramani appointed as Attorney General, new Attorney General. So he will replace the present Attorney General K.V. Venugopal. K.K. Venugopal is going to be replaced by this person that is called Venkat Ramani. Just look at what are the prelims component of Attorney General. That's it, not much important. Moving on. Now, Ukraine referendum results point to Russia's annexation. Now, recently, as Russia is gaining its ground in Ukraine, it has conducted some referendum on 4 provinces were annexed to Russia, and this is seen as annexation. Now, the US is preparing for a new round of sanctions against Russia, and it is going to give 8 of $1 billion arms package to Ukraine, which means again the war is going to continue. Not much relevance, just remember this. Saudi Arabian prince was named as prime minister. Just remember, no much relevance. Budget to reset tax laws and decriminalize sections in IT GST. So this will be budget 2023 and 24. The budget 24 is going to carry this. It is going to tax laws or reset tax laws because much of the tax laws are criminalizing those persons who are not paying taxes or penalties were very huge. So they wanted to moderate it so that people will be falling in line and they will be paying the tax. Forex reserves dipped by $23 billion by December, and this is the lowest ever since the global financial crisis 2008 has seen. So in 2008, it has fallen by 20%, and now it has fallen almost by the same percent, which is something a problem in the forex reserves. Again, where it can be useful only in the prelim section, it is useful. Moonlighting, no reason to end work from home, says DXC Tech. Now, recently Wipro has removed some people, some employees. They have filed out some employees who are doing moonlighting. So they might ask this question. This can be used in corporate governance and ethics. That is the first thing. And second thing is they can ask in prelims. Moonlighting is in news. What is this? Moonlighting means a person who is employed in one company will be doing alternative work, right? Moonlighting at night times. Normally, because of work from home, an employee is doing one or more jobs. Uh, from the same. Say, for example, working for Wipro as well as Infosys is moonlighting. So that is the thing, and this is about the sports. And going to the text and context, limited democracy, unlimited theocracy. This is speaking about the changes that is happening in Iran. Iran has become a democratic country which went into theocracy. So the clerical rule was established in 1979 after Russian Iranian Revolution. Khomeini has established this. Ayatollah started building the science of age Right, this is something about Iran. No need to worry. If you are interested in understanding Iran, you can read it. The Indian National Congress, a grand old party on the demanding path of its revival, written by Joya Hassan, one of the best authors of politics in India, political parties in India. I don't recommend this for GS students. I recommend this for PSAR students because in PSAR we have a separate topic called political parties in India. So Joya Hassan, we refer her name there. So just read Joya Hassan, this article for that. So this is for the day. So quickly rewinding, what are there for general studies candidates in this paper? What are the things that you have to remember? If we go through this in GS paper one, history, one aspect, Buddhism and Jainism, some Buddhism elements were find out in Bandhagar National Park. That is the only thing. In society, Indian secularism, Uttar Pradesh government example, setting timetable for madrasas. In geography, no much relevance, leave it, except that geography optional students just read that article about in the international order where the rivers are having more than two countries borders, then obviously transparency has to be there in hydrological data sharing, except that not much importance. When it comes to polity, PSAR students has Joya Hassan's article on revival of Grand Old Party, right? This you can read. Apart from that, for prelims, you have the election of Attorney General. President has appointed Attorney General, right? Venkataramani. Apart from that, the next one is in governance, you have no much things, or in the so-called social justice, you do not have anything here. In the international relations, how the world is changing because of Ukraine war, the main editorial, if you are interested, you can read, or else you can neglect it also. After that, in economy, government is going to minimize some, decriminalize some laws in the IT Act. So that is one thing that we can wait and watch in 2024 budget. So again, not much relevance in the economic front also. Moonlighting. So moonlighting is not a cause for stopping work from home. Internal security front, PFI issue is there, right? You can use this thing for internal security front. And then when it comes to ethics, moonlighting is one thing and caterpillar issue is one thing. So this is for content extraction for mains for today. We'll meet tomorrow. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. If you want to read one article or two articles, you can read the reverberations that Ukraine war is creating in India or in the world. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.